Alright, on today's video I'm going to be doing a little more tinkering on the EK hatch. I've got a brand new OEM throttle cable. That's for EM1, so that should work for our Type R. And we're going to finish off the rear brakes, put those together, hopefully bleed it, although I'm on my own right now. And yeah, we'll just tinker around, get a few more things done on that car. But before we do that, I wanted to give you guys one more rock around on the red car. So I've decided to part the red car out. I went back and forth on it. I love Rally Red. It's one of my favorite SI colors. Probably is my favorite SI color. And silver is probably my least favorite color. So I was kind of thinking of taking everything out of the silver car and putting it into the red car, because the silver car has a lot of good parts. It's low mileage. It's a really nice car. This one, not so much, but it's red. So it's like, put all the effort into it. So I have a nice red coupe to match my red sedan. But ultimately, I've decided against it. So as you can see, the front end of it is already torn apart. I started taking things apart for getting the swap out. I'm going to take it out the top because I don't feel like dropping the subframe because I don't have a hoist. So, getting the engine ready to pull. I pulled all the junk stuff off. I got a junk pile going out back, which is like the front rear bumpers. The inner fenders were junk. This fender was junk, but as you can see, I've kept driver's side fender, hood, got that urethane rear lip thing. All that I'll keep. I can sell to somebody. The doors are good, obviously. I got a lot of front end components I'll sell to people. But regardless, I want to show you guys the few things that made me decide to not stick with this car. So thing one is it does have rust. You can see here it's very minor, but this corner is starting to bubble, and where there's a little bit, there's always more. So I'm sure there's some hiding up in behind there. And that's the worst side. This side doesn't have it showing yet, but it is starting to bubble up on the bottom. I got looking closer at the body, and there's a dent here in the roof. There's a dent on that side on the roof. I've got door dings down the quarter here. I think there's one on the trunk I found. Maybe not. Not seeing it now, so I'm gonna be thinking about something else. This rear frame rail above the exhaust here is pretty crusty, rusty. It's nothing you couldn't probably put a bunch of hours in POR into, but it is getting to the point where it will be bad. Same with the lower subframe area. It's getting a lot of surface rust on it, whereas the silver car doesn't have any rust. So what else did I find? Oh, the wiring. So the kid had a stereo system in it. I don't have the trunk pop, but all the stereo harness has been spliced into with Scotch locks and just hokey pokey. Same with under the main deck. There's like wood screws holding the covers on in the dash. And there was a bunch of self-tappers run through the body right here, you can see, because the mud flap was broken. Just a bunch of little things that culminate together that's not even mechanical, that just make me... It just doesn't make sense to take apart such a nice silver car to fix up a fairly poopy red car, so... Hurts my heart a little, but we're gonna part it out, and I've already begun the process, so... Anyways, that's an update on the red car. Let's do some work on the hatch. So I think we're gonna start with the back brakes. Some of you may notice I've already cleaned up the rotors. I did that off camera. The rears are pretty bad. I'll throw a picture up here of the before and after. It's quite the transformation. Obviously, they're not perfect, but they're a lot better than they were. We threw some anti-seize in behind the top hat. Got them cleaned up. Calipers are clean, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the brake pads with some brake clean because I think they're soaked in some crap. and then we'll just throw this back together. Do that on both sides, and then we'll start working on the front end. All right, just kidding. I was gonna throw these back together, but I realized I hadn't redone these pins yet. They're, as you can see, I can just barely spin them by hand. They're pretty sticky, so we're gonna take those out, throw in some hot grease, and then we'll reassemble the rear brakes. All right, so we got some of this hot grease. Start by disassembling these things. They are rather sticky. Can get the boots off of there. As you can see, they're not rusty or nothing. I put grease on these when I was first working on the car a couple years ago, and I think just from sitting, it's kind of just like congealed. It never got used. Not to mention it's also cold in here, but we'll re-grease them, and then we know we won't have issues. You can see these seals are pretty tight to pop off, but they're still pliable, so that's good. Alright, with all our pins and brackets clean, we'll start reassembling. So I usually start with putting the boots in first. Actually, these boots have quite a bit of grease in them. I'm going to see if I can't get some of that out. Alright, just kidding. That's going to be a pain in the butt. I'll just leave the residual grease in there. It's not going to hurt nothing. So I start with putting on my boots. Like so. I take my grease. You don't have to go crazy with this stuff. A little bit goes a long ways. Something like that. Spread it on there thoroughly. Slide her in. That. On to the next one. Like so. Slide that one in. Alright, now sometimes these kind of get like little air bubbles caught in them, so you're going to push them to the end. Pull the boot open just a touch, and you can hear the air kind of escape. So with that one, just push it down, let the air escape. There we go. Now we have nice, easy sliding, nicely working pins. So I'll repeat the process on that one, and then we'll go throw them on the car. All right, and with that, rear brakes are done. Got the e-brake hooked up, pins in, rotor's cleaned, cleaned the pads, relieve the slide pins. I just got to throw the brake line back on right there, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna do the other side quickly off camera, and then we'll keep moving on. All right, this side's done, calipers on, e-brakes hooked up, braided lines hooked up. To go there. Check out that G's exhaust. All right, let's start working on the front end of this thing. I've got throttle cable to install, which I showed you guys earlier, and then I also want to install the front bumper absorber, because I'm pretty sure this is from that car, so it must not be on there. I don't know why, but let's get to it. Alright, bumper is off, as you guys just seen. And I was just having a look here. I had self-tapped a few mounts into here at one time. I had an oil cooler in this car when it was going to be a single cam build. So I'm just seeing from sitting, there's a little bit of rust in each of those holes. So just going to spray some of this oil-based rust inhibitor in each of them so that they don't spread. I see there's a little bit on the end of my crash bar too, so might as well coat that up. So it don't spread. Alright, and with that, I was correct. The foam is not there, so let's throw that on the car. Alright, that's on there pretty secure. It's facing the right way, but I think I'll just throw a couple wraps of tape on it. Just so it doesn't fall off when I'm trying to put the bumper on. Alright, it wouldn't be approved without a... Yeah, not going nowhere. Let's put this bumper back on stat. And just like that, the bumper's back on. I even added the 2 screws that were missing that affix the inner fenders to the lower fascia of the bumper. So bumper is complete. Shouldn't have to come off again until maybe I put the deletes or something in there, but that's way down the road. So at least the foam's back in. I don't have to keep moving it around my shop. Sure. Next is the throttle cable. As you can see, I have a very high quality vacuum plug there, only the best. Oh, right, and that's not bolted, forgot about that. So there's that, but anyways, that's hiding our throttle cable bracket, so we need to run it through the hole in the back of the firewall there, up into the bracket, and then into the throttle body. I also dumped some brake fluid in it to let it start to gravity bleed, but obviously I don't have any bleeders or anyone to help me bleed right now. This guy is an OEM Integra Type R bar. He's just chilling on there right now because I don't have the hardware to install him, but I'm gonna move him because he'll be in the way for our next task. Alright, let's unbag our throttle cable. See there. OEM Honda. Oh, that was comprehensive. You push on the pedal, it go wee woo wee woo. Well, there's not much wee woo action without the spring, but that's pretty nice. Sure seems short. Hopefully it's the right one. Alright, first things first, we got to get it fed through here. And then it twists to lock. It's supposed to have, does not seem upside down. It's supposed to have a little rubber gasket, but I unfortunately don't have that. I thought the cable would come with it, but it didn't, but that's alright. Not the end of the world. Put him back into there. This guy pops into here, something like that. I don't know exactly. This little thing is annoying. Alrighty. Oh gosh. Clearly I haven't done this for a while. I'm a little rusty working on the old Hondas. So, immediately, I can tell you, it ain't quite right. It's gonna have to be farther back because that's max tension on where the bracket's currently mounted. And that ain't enough tension, is what I'm saying. So we're probably gonna have to do the old 1-bolt hole trick. So currently our bracket is mounted in 2 holes. So if we move it back a notch, we just use the 1 hole and it hopefully will put our bracket in the right place. Being that this isn't the exact part number. So let's give that a try, I guess. There. 2% less annoyed. That's a pretty good improvement. Okay. Normally, I don't like doing ghetto fixes like this, but this is what I have in the moment, so shoot, that's into Never Never Land. Yep, that bolt went to Narnia. She didn't make it to the ground. Don't know where it went. I'll go fishing for that after. Now let's see if this is feasible. Appears like it is. Oh, wait a second. God, I'm so dumb sometimes. I just realized I haven't hooked it up on the pedal end, and that might make a big difference. Or it might not. I don't know. I can't remember. So I'm gonna unhook this. I'm gonna go hook it on the pedal end, and then maybe we'll restart this whole procedure. I'm gonna break my spine in 16 places to get this done. Yeah. Alright, I'm working blind, and I don't remember how to even do this. Where's the light? Where's the light? There it is. I can see! Huh. That was it? I already... Feedback! Okay. Alright, yep. Okay. Oh, yeah. Just gonna go to the chiropractor, and then we'll finish the engine side. Okay, now that it's actually hooked to the pedal on the inside, this can definitely go back where it was. And I'm gonna have to go on a 17-day journey to find that bolt I just lost. Alright, where are you, little guy? I know you're here somewhere. Oh, I found it. That was relatively easy. It was right on top of the exhaust. A good place for it. Oh shoot, I did the other one too tight. Well, if you're watching this, if you're taking away anything, just don't do what I do. And everything will probably go pretty good for you. Alright. Take 17. Oh, jeez, she's too tight right there, boys. I gotta back her off a bit. We're gonna have the opposite problem now. Alright, right there somewhere. Too tight, maybe? I don't know. I'd have to jump in the old cockpit and see how it feels. Also, I should probably go get a wrench because my fingers aren't really doing the job. That's getting close. We're getting there. That feels entirely reasonable. I'm not gonna tighten it right up. I'm gonna go in and hit the throttle. You guys tell me if it gets wide open or not. I'm thinking it should. That sits decent. We'll have to pop that into there still, but yeah, this might be a win. Might have did it too tight. Let's go see. Oh, I'm stuck. I don't know. I think that's pretty good. We're gonna call it decent. I'm not gonna start the car right now because my garage doors are closed and there's not really any point. But the next time I fire it up, I will fine tune it if it's too tight. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. If I squeeze it into that other one, it's gonna pinch it too hard. I'll just leave it in that light one. Everything should be hunky-dory. If I wanted to, I could flip it under here, which I might do actually. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. Pop it back on there so you don't have massive vacuum leak. All right, just like that. All right, I know this wasn't a super long or exciting video on the hatch, but we got some progress done. We got the back brake system complete. We got a throttle cable in it, so we have a VTEC actuator machine now. And we got the front bumper foam back in. Again, I know it wasn't a lot, but I'm just gonna film as I make progress on this car. So that's some pretty decent progress. The next thing I'm gonna do, probably off camera, is I'll bleed the brakes with my girlfriend helping me. And it'll actually stop and move under its own power, which will be crazy. And then my next mission is to get the tires mounted on the wheels so that we can then get it on the ground and start adjusting ride height, camber, rolling fenders, whatever we gotta do to get everything to fit nicely. And a few other odds and sods as we go. I found I have a brand new VTEC solenoid screen and O-ring that I gotta throw in there. I'm missing the junction and hoses for my window squares, so that's another little miscellaneous thing that's gotta be done. A few little things like that. So in future videos, we'll keep picking away at it. And then come spring, we'll rip some serious tech. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoy the content and you want to see more EK stuff, let me know. If you want to see SI stuff, let me know. If you don't want to see anything, you don't have to let me know. Anyways, bye.
It's not a game, it's a